humanoid machines capable of performing many of the tasks we engage in all the time, such as walking, talking, picking things up and moving them around, as well as some of those that most of us try to avoid, such as indiscriminate acts of death and destruction. Later, we will learn that this image, and indeed the very idea of a robot, comes from the world of fiction. While it is true that these myths and dreams have seeped into the collective conscious and undoubtedly influenced some of the scientific work in the field of robotics, the current reality, though full of enormous interest and potential, is a little less dramatic. As these more mundane machines become commonplace, we will start to think of robots in a very different way. Why should we care about robots? Robots have been used in some industries for more than half a century, so why should we suddenly care? 20th century industrial robots, the kind found on car production lines, mainly operated out of the public gaze, and, although sophisticated, were essentially dumb, so they never roused much debate. But since the turn of the millennium, new robotic breeds have started to appear at an accelerating pace. Robots that show glimmers of lifelike intelligence have started to appear in our homes, autonomous vacuum cleaners, and on our streets, driverless cars, and are being developed for all kinds of applications, some benign, some troubling. It is these mobile, intelligent robots, on the cusp of becoming integrated into our everyday lives, that are now sparking great interest. What can they actually do now, and what might they be able to do in the future? Will they force us to change the ways we think about technology and the uses of technology? Will they fundamentally change the ways we live and work? I will try and answer these and many other questions in this book, but the first point to stress is that it is not a matter of when or if the robots come. They are already here. They are not completely ubiquitous yet, or particularly smart or threatening, but, just like computers, the internet, and networked mobile devices before them, there appears to be such momentum behind the development of robot technology, which of course builds on all those other technologies just mentioned, that its spread is inevitable. All over the world, government and corporate R&D funds are being poured into AI and robotics. That is why it is important to have some kind of understanding of the state-of-the-art of these machines, and to think about how they should be used and regulated now and in the future. Mobile, physical, autonomous devices that share our domestic and working lives could potentially have a much bigger impact on the world than their predecessor technologies. In the future, they could be seen as the crowning glory of 21st century applied science and engineering, or as tools of social inequality and economic oppression. The development of improved robot technology may be inevitable, but the way in which we apply it is not. Cities such as San Francisco are already the canaries in the mine as far as learning to live with and legislate for robots is concerned. At the end of 2017, the San Francisco Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, SFS-PCA, caused a wave of headlines after a security robot it was using to patrol its campus and surrounding public footpaths was attacked. SFS-PCA deployed the robot to discourage inhabitants of nearby tent encampments of homeless people, some of whom they suspected of antisocial behavior. The robot was equipped with multiple sensors, including video cameras and face recognition systems. In many ways, it was a mobile surveillance unit, as well as in sensing the homeless people who found themselves monitored and recorded. Somewhat ironically, the 180-kilogram robot annoyed a local dog walker because the machine upset her animal, who perceived it as a threat. Within a few days of starting its trundling patrols on public paths, the robot was ambushed. It had a tarpaulin flung over it, was knocked down, and had barbecue sauce smeared across its sensors. Such robots had operated successfully enough in enclosed, privately owned spaces, such as shopping malls, casinos, and car parks. Bringing them out into the open had caused the problem. This, and similar incidents, have rushed city authorities in the USA and elsewhere into working out how they should regulate the use of robots in public areas. This incident tells us two things. First, anyone who thinks introducing robots into the public arena will be straightforward had better think again. Second, it's not difficult to disable most of the current generation of robots. In San